Only a couple of years ago, no one could imagine that some of the most enchanting and peaceful valleys of Malakand, Swat, Dir and Guner would become the venue of a bloody and seemingly endless war in which many innocent people would either lose their lives or would be dislodged from their ancestral abodes. Perhaps the inhabitants of these panoramic valleys had never thought of fleeing these scenic locations in such a disarray and desperation. They had no other choice or option, as their lives and those of their near and dear ones were in grave danger, because now their picturesque valleys had become the valleys of death.
زه په دویمې کلاس کې یم، زما سبق قرآن شاه هلته کیسې کرپیانې بیا نه تلو، زمونږ مېسیان هم نه راتلې او دا هلته کې بیا د جنګ شروع شو. زمونږ د کور شاته په پټي کې دغه لګېده موټر کولی او د هاخوا د هلکه راتې پترېده.
The miseries of the dwellers of Malakand division date back to some 2 decades, when constitutional vacuum was created there after the expiry of FATA regulations. Efforts were made to overcome this vacuum time and again, but unrest continued and violence erupted intermittently. Extremists challenged the writ of government, and a last-ditch effort was initiated this year in the form of agreement on other regulations by the government. Unfortunately, it failed, and government was compelled to launch an operation against the extremists to restore government's writ and bring peace to the troubled region. Though the operation weakened the extremists, but it also put the inhabitants of Swat, Dir and Guner in difficulties. Survival became impossible for them in their areas. They had to leave their homelands. Unplanned and haphazard exodus started. They, along with small children and elders, had to travel long distances to safer places on foot because of non-availability of all sorts of transportation. It was the sense of safety elsewhere which gave them the impetus to continue their struggle for survival.
My name is Shabuddin. I am a student in 9th class. I want to go back my home.
To accommodate the huge and continuous influx of people, relief camps were established for the IDPs in Mardan, Sawabi, Nowshera and Bishar. People voluntarily shared their houses and hujras with the displaced persons, but due to huge number of displaced population, it is not an easy task to manage it in an organized manner. These helpless displaced persons need shelter, food, water and medical aid to live comfortably. They are tired, sweaty, hungry, demoralized and psychologically disturbed.
I am Sherzada and I am a teacher in government primary school Mulababa number 4, and I think there are many difficulties we are chasing, and many times especially 4 days we are passing here, and the main problems are we are facing especially bathroom not are available here, especially electricity.
This huge and unexpected human tide of internally displaced population is the biggest after the independence of the country. Scorching heat, shortage of water and unfavorable weather conditions are adding to the sad plight of the IDPs.
موږ ته په دې ګرمۍ کې ډېر زیات تکلیف دی. زموږ ماشومانان خرابېږي، ډېر غرمه دي او زموږ کور د خدای په خیر خیره سره ټول ملک ته د خدای خیر راپېښ کړي چې موږ لاړ شو خپل کورونو ته. موږ ته ډېر زیات تکلیف دی، د ګرمۍ نه زموږ ماشومانان خرابېږي، موږ خرابېږو، موږ نور دې ګرمۍ ته نه شو ټینګېدی.
This entire situation threatens the spread of epidemic diseases. Children and the aged persons are especially more exposed to diseases. The dwellers of cold and pleasant valleys feel very uncomfortable due to the high temperatures of the warm plains.
مونږ دا عرض کوو چې یاره زر ته زره زموږ د وطن د اپریشن کامیاب کړي او زر ته زره زموږ د وطن آزاد کړي چې مونږ لاړ شو خپل کیمپونو ته، خپل وطن ته. کیمپونو باندې مونږ څه کوو، د ګرمۍ کې مونږ ناست وو.
My name is Dr. Mohammad Noor Akbar, and I am working here as a medical officer in this camp. Its name is Umma Welfare Trust. And sir, and we have seen that a large number of IDPs has come here from Bunir, Swat, and Dir. And they have carry here a vast variety, a vast number of difficulties along with them. There are some patients that they have the stress and strain, and besides they have scabies and skin rashes, skin infections, and acute diarrhea, dysentery, and some other number of diseases. And you know that there is not a proper supply of medicine to any camp. So I am requesting the government to provide a high quantity of life-saving drugs as well as power and water, because water is the basic needs for the human being, and the God have recites in the Holy Quran that and we made every living thing of water. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. And there is no proper supply of water, pure water. So I request the government and the donors, the international and national associations to provide medicines and other medical equipments.
The influx of IDPs is expected to continue for quite some time in the near future. People stranded in the troubled areas are ready to flee whenever they get a chance. Some 2 million people have fled up till now, and more are expected in the coming days. That is why more camps, facilities and resources will be needed to manage the coming human tide. People are wholeheartedly welcoming their displaced brethren with open arms in these hours of trial. Government is taking steps to accommodate them. Civil societies, international bodies are supporting the helpless people. But still, as the number is enormous, therefore, huge funds and expertise handling is needed to minimize the miseries of the IDPs. In these odd hours of uncertainty, they are looking forward for international communities to come forward to their rescue, to provide resources and utilize their experiences so that the miseries of the displaced persons are reduced to minimal and they could pass these hours of trial in comfort and respect.